Hello everyone and welcome to Net Crypto, where you get important information and news about all coins of interest. And today we're going to be taking a look at Metapets. So just ensure you're subscribed to the channel if you want to stay informed about everything that is happening with Metapets. So we've got some breaking news that is coming out of Metapets, right? So let's jump in. We do see here that we've got a listing, a centralized exchange listing for Metapets coming out, Hotbit. Right, so this is very important, especially if you're invested into Metapets. You'd want to listen to this video to the end because this listing is significant, right? So let's jump in and see what this all means. So we do see here currently the price of Metapets obviously going up 19% up on the day, 90175, right, from a low of 90145, right? So we do see currently Metapets is only listed on PancakeSwap and La Token, right, or LA Token. All right, so why is this listing very important? So if you go on to CoinGecko, right, if you go on to CoinGecko, you do see obviously the first exchange is Binance, followed by OKX, followed by Crypto.com, right? So if you look at Binance, they only have got about 364 coins listed, OKX about 341, Crypto.com about 187. So if you check the largest number of coins they are listed on this exchange, PancakeSwap, this is a DEX, this is a decentralized exchange, right? And Hotbit is following PancakeSwap in terms of the centralization exchange. That's 1,877 coins that are onto Hotbit. So it's not very difficult for you to be listed onto Hotbit. I was actually about to do a video on why Metapets is not listed on one of these well-recognized exchanges such as Hotbit and Bitmart and so on, right? So definitely a listing on Hotbit, right, is quite significant, especially if you're an investor. And this is the reason why, because Hotbit is centralized. This is a very important keyword, and PancakeSwap is decentralized, right? So this means if there was anything to happen to the smart contract, you do see the static audit coming out, right? There is a whole lot of risk that the owner of the contract is carrying. So if the contract was hijacked, right, there's a lot of things that can happen if you're only on PancakeSwap, right? So now that they are on a centralized exchange such as Hotbit, they do open, they have a hot wallet that they have on there, so all the coins are in there, right? So you can open up, you can invest into Hotbit, right? And also, of course, I'm sure some of you will be asking about reflections. This is something that you have to take up with the team. Most of the coins listed on Hotbit that have reflections, they don't actually give reflections, right? So this is something that the CEO and the developers behind Metapets have to negotiate with the exchange to enable reflections, right? So you have to directly ask onto the Telegram group, are reflections supported on Hotbit at this stage? I don't think they are at this stage, but you just have to go and check with them. So you do carry a minimized risk if you're going to be investing directly onto Hotbit. The first thing, there's no spillage, right? You only have to pay the 13% tax if you transfer to Hotbit, you pay 13% tax. If you buy Metapets onto Hotbit, you pay 13%, as well as when you sell, you pay 13%. But there is no spillage, which is a huge advantage. But of course, the trading pay that is going to be allowed there is going to be in USD, right? So you have to ensure that you transfer whatever currency you transfer into Hotbit. Preferably, when I'm moving cryptocurrencies between exchanges, I prefer to use XRP or XLM, right? That just ensures that it minimizes my costs of transfer to the minimum, right? So that's one thing that I just wanted to share with you. So now you'd ask, in terms of Metapets, where does this take us? Because if you are a long-term subscriber of Net Crypto, you would want to know some of these things, right? So you do see that there are some cons that are in Metapets that we've discussed. So one of the things is the Gasto issue. Obviously, Gasto has left the project right now. He became a major part of the project, right? He was entrusted with a whole lot, flying around the place, sorting out the website and all that, but now he's been kicked out of the project because he misused some funds, stole some funds from the project. And we have the trademark issue, right? I'm not going to dive deep into this because some of the mods did reach out to me, right? So if I scroll down here to some of the mods, let's just have a look and see who did reach down to me in terms of these mods, right? So if you look at some of these mods, this whole scroll thing that we see. So April, this mod, we had a chat on one of the videos that I uploaded, said that please, in this whole trademark issue, please can you lay off this issue until this thing is sorted out between Metapets and Robert Rice, right? So I'm not going to dive deep into this, but that's one of the cons that we have. We also have the development team. Obviously, we know that it took 3 months for Metapets to develop a website, right? So that's a major issue. And of course, the overall management of the project, the fact that it seems like everyone only saw on the last minute that the website was not up to par, and there's a whole lot of things that has been happening into the project, right? That brings the management of this project into question. And we've been talking about these things. Like we say here on Net Crypto, we are not for or against anyone. We just cover the news, right? Whether it's negative or it's positive. So what are some of the pros that we do see in terms of Metapets, right? So let's just expand on here. So of course, in terms of some of the pros, we do see that we've got here project location. So this is something that is coming out of the last AMA that was done. So the CEO is going to be moving to the United States, right? On Monday, he said he's going to be traveling, so there's not going to be an AMA on Monday. This is very good because you cannot be in a country that is banned cryptocurrency, right? So this is something that we spoke about quite a few times on this channel. So this is a negative, positive thing rather that is coming out of Metapets, that the CEO is going to be going back to the United States, right? And also this centralized exchange listing that we did see of Whatbit is also quite positive. But of course, we are going to need to see more centralized exchange listings. Why? Because when you have more than one centralized exchange listing that is decent, that is a decent amount of trading, you know, it's going to reduce the risk of arbitrage, right? Arbitrage are in those traders who are going to be moving money across exchanges because they do see that the coin price is cheaper on this exchange and than this exchange, so they're going to be moving money onto them. So if you have more centralized exchanges with Metapets, it's going to be removing that huge price difference that we see between exchanges, and some investors that might get confused between the price points between a DEX exchange and a centralized exchange, right? So, and of course, the responsiveness, right, of the project. So we do see that there is some responsiveness of the project. We talk about the static was there. There's no Skynet, right? There's no score. Of course, we know the reason why is because if there was a score, it was going to be low, which was not going to be quite good, right? So that's one of the things. So in terms of Metapets at the moment, we do see that this listing, it came at the right time because there have been a whole lot of issues that have been happening with Metapets, right? So this is one hurdle. This is one thing to just bring confidence to the investors that the team know what is going on. So they did sort of like a something to bring a spark into the project, to bring it up. And this is quite commendable that they are doing this, but there are still some really big issues, right, within the project that needs to be sorted out, right? But since now the CEO is moving back to the States, right, you might be able to hire new developers. You might be able to fly around the States and meet the actual developers who are behind the project and all that, and get things moving. And of course, we are waiting to see how this trademark issue is going to be handled, right, of Metapets. Of course, we do see here that there is a trademark listing that was done by Darrell David Norris Jr., right? So I guess this is the CEO, that's D. I guess that's a short name, D Norris. And we do see this, but of course, we do see that on the trademark, you have owning a trademark versus having a registered trademark. You see, you become a trademark owner as soon as you start using your trademark with your goods or services. So if you open up a product right now, you are selling something, e-commerce, whatever, you call it whatever name, and you put a trademark sign onto that, you become the trademark owner. So this whole thing of the trademark, like I say, I'm not going to dive deep into it right now. We just have to see how it's going to play out between Robert Rice and D Norris in terms of this whole trademark situation right now, right? So in terms of Metapets, this is something that I just wanted to cover right now. Some breaking news coming out. Metapets is now on, it's going to be on Hotbit on the 31st of March, right? It's a positive step. It's something that is going to bring sort of like some consolation to the whole negative news that have been coming out of Metapets, because this is something that you need to do to the investors, and not just to the long-term investors, because I always hear this thing of long-term investors. What about the people who just invested just now, right? What about people who just invested like 2 months? Are they nothing, right? Every investor is important into the project, right? All those long-term investors. Of course, I do understand when some of the top 100 sell out, it hurts the project more than the little guys, right? But most definitely every investor into a project is absolutely important. So everything that happened with Metapets, I'm going to be covering it. So you need to ensure that you're subscribed to the channel if you want to stay informed, right? Obviously, a lot of people have not been happy about some of the news that I've been sharing on here, but here we don't hate or love anyone, right? We just share the news as it is, because as investors we don't get emotional with anything. It's just an investment. We look at the facts before investment, whether they are good or bad. We look at that, right? So if something good happens, we're going to cover it. Something bad happens, we're going to cover it. Of course, when I cover something good, a lot of people hate it, and when I cover something bad, a lot of people hate it, right? But of course, like, I've laid off on this whole trademark issue to just see how it's going to play out. So this is something that I wanted to say into this video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.